latest team news, please?
Well, the injury situation is that the players who have been injured last week will not play tomorrow, and who will be back? Maybe in the squad, Koscielny, maybe Walcott. Decision tomorrow morning.
You've lost some big players, but you've got Chamberlain, Ramsey fit again, Koscielny, Walcott coming back. How encouraging has that been for you?
It's positive because at the moment we are a bit short, so it's good to have them back, of course.
And Callum Chambers played in midfield for the under-21s. How close is he to filling that role for the first team?
Close if needed, he can play.
And just on the title race, 4 points separating the top 5. Do you get the feeling this is going to be close all the way through the season?
Yeah, I said that a long time. We have gone just for a spell where we took only 2 points in our last 3 games, but we are still only 2 points off the top. So, but if you look at the whole pack, it's very tight and very compact. That means everybody can deliver the same speech, basically.
Arsene, just on Sanchez and Cazorla, it was a hammer blow to lose them together, but when exactly do you expect them back?
I don't know, honestly. Sanchez is a hamstring, but I don't know how long it will take. He's a quick one to recover. And Cazorla, we don't know until he has seen the specialist. I have no news from that.
Some reports say it could be as late as March. Is that possible?
It's possible, yes.
If that were the case, I mean, how much of a blow on your aspirations this season with the loss of those 2 players together mean?
Look, ideally you want them all be with you, but we are prepared to deal with it, and it's as well a big miss like players like that is as well an opportunity for some other players to come in and show that they can fill in and have the quality, and that they are fresh, and that they can give a good impact and impulse to the team.
Arsene, you were asked a lot about injuries, but we've had some stats which suggest that over the last 5 years, Arsenal are the most injury-stricken team in the Premier League with 422 injuries. Is that just bad luck?
I don't know. I believe that you have some players who are injured. For example, in these injuries, you can't play like Diaby, who was injured here a lot, has gone to Marseille, he still doesn't play, So I believe that's a debate that I leave to specialists, but I don't think a number like that is different. We compare our injuries across Europe and with all the leagues, and I think we have not more injuries than anybody else.
But what do you say though to people who suggest that the Sanchez injury could have been preventable by maybe pulling him off against Dinamo?
I don't know how Sanchez had 4 weeks holiday. He had played, he was rested in some games. He had all the medical signs to play before the game. We had 5 days between Dynamo Zagreb and Norwich, but nobody suggests that he could have displaced his hamstring or his back when he was pushed into the cameras and on the side of the field. That didn't shock anybody, and that injury can come from that as well, So it is. I'm not expert enough to know, but if you want to blame me, I have no problem with it.
Arsene, there are reports in the last couple of days suggesting that you've asked the board to buy John Stones at Everton. Is that right?
No, I think I asked my players to focus on tomorrow's game. I didn't ask anything to the board.
Given your
anyway, it's not the board who buys the players.
Do you like John Stones?
We are not after John Stones, if that's what you want to know. We are focused on tomorrow's game.
Given your injuries, though, a lot of Arsenal fans are wondering whether you will try and buy some reinforcements in January. What can you tell them?
I just tell you exactly the same. We are in December and we focus on tomorrow's game.
And just looking at the top of the table, 2 points from the last 9, but only 2 points off the top. Anything is possible, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. I agree that you look at across the league, every game is difficult for everybody, and it is down to consistency. We have gone through a spell that is a bit has been a bit difficult for us, but I believe we are in there, and it's how well we respond, and I'm convinced that we will respond very well.
And just finally from me, you have Olympiacos coming. Does that influence whether, for instance, Koscielny plays against Sunderland?
No, not really, because our most important game is tomorrow, and after we'll see how we prepare Olympiacos. For us, the big game is tomorrow.
How helpful is it to have the home game tomorrow rather than going up to Sunderland ahead of that trip to Athens?
It is important because we feel strong at home, and we have the support of our fans at home, and we had just two very physical, very difficult away games. We're a bit unlucky, and the comfort to play at home is of course important.
Jurgen Klopp recently made some comments about Daniel Sturridge and suggested that he needs to learn the difference between playing with pain and what real pain is. Footballers generally nowadays maybe not as tough as they once were, the Tony Adams, the Steve Bolds of the world.
It's difficult to make general assessment. I think you have still players who are very tough and players who are a bit more sensitive. That's part of it, but that always existed, you know, in every generation. Life is a bit softer today, but for you and for me as well.
Do you ever have to handle any, quote, sensitive players? Do you ever have any issues with that?
No, because you know I never force anybody to play, because we are in a job where you need to give 100%, and to give 100% you must feel absolutely confident and have confidence in your body. So I don't like to push players who are reluctant to play into games.
Gary Neville's just taken his first job as a manager in football. What are your thoughts on him heading to Spain? Good
luck, and he has the luck to go in a big club, because Valencia is one of the biggest clubs in Spain, and it's a great opportunity for him.
As a Frenchman, you came to England, you went to Japan. What's your advice for any manager who goes to a different country? What do they need to do from the start?
Try to understand the local culture, the culture of the club as well, and try to push your ideas through, and overall is to find a good compromise between respect for the local culture and without giving up your own way you see football.
Arsene, in your nearly 20 years here, how has the medical backup to you, how has that changed in the last 20 years? How more exact is it?
I would like to invite you one day to follow. We have plenty of people. What has gone up is in numbers. When I arrived here, it was me, my two assistants, and Gary Lewin. And today, you have a team around you, you know, and that has changed. And I think it has changed everywhere. It is much more sophisticated, much more scientific. But human beings are still human beings.
So is it the pace of the game that has just speeded up and that there are more injuries as a result?
Look, you could analyze many things, the pitches, the pace of the game, the intensity inside the game has gone up. But there is well mental components, psychological components in injuries, emotions in your private life can have an impact on muscular injuries. You know, it's not as rational and mathematical as people think. You try to master all the scientific aspects, but there are as well some irrational factors in injuries sometimes. For example, Cazorla and Coquelin are traumatic injuries. What can you do about that? Nothing.
The top six are separated by just 6 points. How many clubs do you think have a chance of winning the title this year?
Mathematically, maybe 10 to 12. Realistically, about 6, yes.
6. And in terms of what's happened at FIFA overnight, more charges, do you have any faith at all that they will eventually clear FIFA up and that football will have a world governing body to have confidence in?
Look, it's a shock to me, like certainly to you, to discover what happens there and was especially what happened. And it's very difficult to swallow for people who are inside our game, that we are governed by bodies who are not straight. And I hope that all these people will get out of football. And it shows that you have really to rebuild completely this organization and get people you can trust.
The January transfer window is obviously approaching, and now we're in December. Is this a time when you're identifying the targets that you want to pursue?
I didn't understand well.
Is this a time that you're identifying the targets for January that you want to pursue different players?
Look, at the moment, I'm more focused to respond tomorrow, you know. I gave the answer last week in the press conference that we'll be, of course, open and look at outside. But at the moment, what is more important is to show how strong we are mentally with what happened to us, and that we respond in a very positive way. Because the beginning of December is a very important moment for us.
And is it an important moment because you're having to do both of those things? You're having to concentrate on, you know, Champions League, Premier League, and also transfers?
No, more because on the pitch we want to win football games. The transfers, you know, your phone is busy every day from people who propose players. So that's an aspect. We have a team inside our club who selects and what's coming in, what we see, and that's we are well organized on that front. But the most important thing for us is the competitive side of our games and win football games.
Arsene, you're always under pressure to spend in the window, but is there extra pressure because everyone's talking about this injury problem?
I'm so used to it that I don't feel anymore what is extra pressure or pressure. And I think you just want to do well and make the right decision for your club, for your team, no matter what kind of pressure you're under, and that will not change.
Could it be a slight advantage this time around when attracting players to Arsenal? The fact that Chelsea have had such a poor start to the season, you provide, you know, within London, which is a big draw for players, perhaps the best opportunity for Champions League football?
I don't know. I just believe when you have a target, you try to get after your target, and that's not down to me to decide that. It's down to the players after. Is he interested or not to join us?
Can I just ask you about Sunderland as well, because it was a frustrating game last season. How tough is it to play against teams that maybe don't necessarily want to show so much attacking intent?
It is very difficult because we have just seen that at Norwich and at West Brom, you know, where we faced about 70% possession in the two games. We had in the two games together, we had 4 shots against us, and we conceded 3 goals. So that shows that it is difficult, and we have to face tomorrow a team who is recently has taken points, is well organized. Has gone to a very strong defensive system with Sam Allardyce, and he has organized them well, and they've gained some confidence in their system as well. So that we expect, of course, a tough game.
Arsene, you said that you don't force the players to play, understandably, but is there ever a time you think when maybe they tell you they're fit when they're not?
Yes, but you have tests as well. We have medical tests. We are quite sophisticated in testing our players, you know. I had a chat with Sanchez after his injury. He's adamant he felt perfect before the game because we tested him, his strengths, his stretching, all the signs we have that we test them every week. We're perfect. You know, there's no obvious sign or alert before the game. It happened. Do I have to take the blame? I do, but there was not an obvious mistake to select him before the game. That's what just I want to say, and I think he will can you confirm that?
So it wouldn't be a case necessary that it might be a judgment call and you might just listen to the player who would say...
It happens as well. It happens in extreme circumstances. It happens. If you ask me, when you play a cup final, you have not to listen too much to the players because they're all fit. But when in normal situation, you know, sometimes you have to get the feeling from the player because at the end of the day, you have to trust the player.
Sorry, just one more. What will happen now? Will Aaron probably come in centrally, do you think?
It's a possibility, yes.
I mean, he's sort of talked a few times about playing out a position on the wing and wanting to play centrally. I guess for him it's a good opportunity for him to play where he wants to play.
Yes, for him it's a good opportunity if he plays there. Of course, that's where he prefers to play.
Arsène, est-ce que c'est votre pire mois de décembre depuis que vous êtes à Arsenal en termes de blessures?
Oh non, on vient de commencer le mois de décembre. Hein, ne dessinez pas le mois de décembre au noir. Le mois de novembre, oui, a été un mois difficile.
Mais dans l'approche du Boxing Day qui arrive, est-ce que c'est le pire?
Oui, c'est-à-dire on est un peu décimé. Et le seul côté facile là-dedans, c'est que c'est facile pour moi de faire l'équipe, puisqu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de monde. Mais sinon, c'est sûr que pour entrer dans le mois de décembre avec l'effectif décimé, c'est pas facile. Et là, on est un peu dans une situation, on espère surtout qu'on n'aura pas d'autres blessures.
Comment vous expliquez cette fragilité de vos joueurs?
Ce ne sont pas des fragilités. Si vous analysez ce qui est arrivé à Cazorla et à Coquelin, ce sont des blessures traumatiques. On a fait les 2 derniers matchs dans des combats vraiment physiques et puis on a eu le malheur d'avoir 2 blessés. Souvent, malheureusement, ça arrive dans les mêmes secteurs de jeu. Là, ça touche notre milieu de terrain. Mais on a encore des ressources.
Alors, quelle responsabilité vous diriez votre staff médical il a sur la blessure d'Alexis Sanchez?
Aucune. Tous ces signes, si Sanchez avait joué avec une contracture ou des courbatures, oui, on aurait pris une mauvaise décision, mais on a un système assez sophistiqué quand même de tests. Et on peut se demander si c'est pas le fait qu'il a été poussé contre les caméras à l'extérieur pendant le match qui a provoqué un dysfonctionnement de sa charnière musculaire.
Juste une dernière question sur Mesut Özil qui est fantastique cette saison. Qu'est-ce qui a changé en lui?
Je pense que il a mûri d'abord psychologiquement et puis surtout il a trouvé un équilibre entre passeur et buteur. Et je crois qu'il, dans les derniers tiers du terrain, il pénètre beaucoup plus dans la surface de réparation, alors qu'avant, c'est une frontière qu'il ne franchissait pas souvent. Et aujourd'hui, je pense qu'il a pris goût à marquer et pris goût à l'efficacité.
Merci.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, Arsene.
You can take the microphone.